Hello, fellas. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah to you all. Please disregard the people in the background right here. I'm at a Friendsgiving, and I told them I got business to handle because I haven't been with you guys in a while. So I'm here. They're there. Let's just get into it, alright? Alright, guys. So on Thursday, we had 3 games. Dallas versus Raiders, Bills versus New Orleans, and the Bears versus the Lions. Now, that was what it was because it's a Lions game on national TV. But we had football on Thanksgiving, and that's all we really care about, right? The Dallas game was really good. Went back and forth. Got me some good points. Thank you very much. And you had the New Orleans game, and which, you expected New England gonna do nothing versus the Bills, even though they've been really up and down. And look who's leading in the division. My Patriots. So it's all good. Let's see how everybody else did this week. All right. So the first game from last week, we had the Nightmares, me, versus the Night Kings. Not looking so good, even though somehow he has the same record as me. I don't understand it. My year is much better than what my record is of 4-7. But anyway, so we started off on the Dallas game where his defense, he had the Cowboys, giving him only 2 points, and my kicker from Las Vegas gave me 21 points. I was like, yes! And my tight end got me 13 points. I feel like a tight end, if you get more than 8 points, you're in a good position, on that front. So give me 13 points. I'll take it. Then we had a good quarterback duel later on with Mac Jones, who's, again, in first place, versus my Joe Burrow. Both getting about 20 points. My running backs did work, both over 15 points. I love that. And the Dolphins are coming. Even though I think they're only like 4-7 too, maybe 5-7, I think. But they're coming up strong now. And they gave me 26 points. Whew. And my bench held it down too. So I'm happy about that. Alright, guys, so the second game is Team Medaya versus Sweet Life. Sweet Life did the bare minimum and won. And Team Medaya did nothing. Even though they got a 9-2 record, they didn't show it this week. It was one of those letdown games. His top performer was Josh Allen at 26 points. But then everybody else, you got looking at 1.5 from Kittles, 1 from his defense of the Steelers. Dang, he put the Steelers against Cincinnati. Yes, that's not that good. And then his running back, Ty Johnson, the backup running back for the Jets, got 4.2. Even though they won, 21-14. But Sweet Life, held it down. Even though Lamar Jackson only got him less than 10 points. Lamar Jackson, you think that? But again, he wants to have a bad week where he can still win. Damn you. But good job. He takes that. He's gonna be tied for the lead now at 9-3 with Team Medaya. Hello. Hola.
Hola. How you doing?
Good. Recording. What's up? All right, guys. The next game we have is Showtime versus PR Dragons, and Mr. Spoiler is doing it again. He hit me and Christian 2 weeks ago, for some W's, and now after taking a loss last week to Team Medaya, he's back to do work against us by taking down Showtime. He's got 112 points and a big showing from Dak, who last week gave him a stinker of 2.6 points, and so look at that, he lost last week 77-96. If Dak would have been himself, maybe a 20-something point game. Look at that. He's in there. He could have taken down Team Medaya as well. But he didn't. But it was still a great game for him this week, 112. Let's see how he's going to do next week. Who he'll face is Pick 6, who's also in the playoff hunt. He's got two guys coming up for the last 2 weeks who are going to be, hoping not to take L's from him in Pick 6 with Errol and A.D. Peterson. Even though AD's had a really bad season and he's at 4-7 right now, he's still in the mix. Still in the mix for that last playoff spot. So we shall see how everything goes. Next game, we got Pick 6 versus Auto Pick. Now, as I said, just talking about PR Dragons facing him next week. Pick 6 needed this game. He's now going to go to 7-5 after losing to Auto Pick, who again, is in the thick of things. We got about 3 teams right now who are going to be 5-7. And then we have the person who's in the 6th spot is 6-5. Right? 6-6. Yeah, it would be 6-6 in Gotti. So, it's going to be a tight race with 2 games left for that final spot. And with Auto Pick taking the victory, Debo Samuel doing work. Debo got hurt, though, too, which is going to be interesting. We'll see how it goes next week. And, that could really hurt Auto Pick's chance next week. But, he was able to get that victory, a nice commanding victory. And Arrow's going to hope not to get spoiled next week. Alright, guys, the next match is A.D. Peterson versus Dutch Masters. Wow, bad game for A.D. He's struggling to show consistency from his quarterbacks. His running backs, usually have some good games, but this week, DeAndre Swift with a 1.5, that's a killer. You can't have that when you're in the thick of a playoff chase, and it wasn't good. It was, a moderate beatdown from Dutch Masters, who got only 85 points. 85 points is something beatable. Nothing crazy from Tom Brady, who usually, will give him at least 20 points. Only got him 11 points. But good showing from one of his running backs, and Josh Jacobs, 17 points. Thielen, almost 20 points. Nice. And I think Gronk is back. Yep, Gronk gave him almost 14 points. Look at 7 receptions, 127. Yep. Uh-oh. Be careful, everybody. Tampa's coming back. Once they get everybody healthy, they'll be back to where they was. But Peter's gonna have to find some magic, somewhere, because he's running out of games, and it ain't looking too good. All right, in the final game, we had Kings of New York versus Gotti boys. Here comes Gotti. Finally, the past couple of years we've been saying to Gotti that at the very end he's always pushing everybody, and he's making that final push to the playoffs. But it's always just been too late for him. He's usually starting out 2-7 or something like that, and then finally finishing up. But this time, he's going to be 6-6 after this victory, a massive victory right now, and he still has somebody left to play. I'm recording this on Monday. He has Terry McLaurin still to go, his wide receiver, and he's at 140 points already. Look at it, he got almost 40 points from Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette, now that's luck right there, getting that much. He got 30 points from Joe Mixon. Whew. Jalen Waddle with 21. Matthew Stafford 21, even though Stafford had a bad game, but putting some touchdown passes out there. And King had a decent game. 90 points basically. You hope to be in contention for a victory, but it was just complete whipping right off the bat. And look at that. Patriots gave him 18 points. And Aaron Rodgers was 26. That's a wasted effort. 2 points from Kareem Hunt. Pittman Jr., 6 points. Darren Waller, 3.7. Yeah, missed opportunity. That's what happened to me last week. Got some big numbers from a few dudes, and then everybody else has just gone missing. He's gonna be 4-8 too. So it's gonna be a tough call for him. Him and Peter are gonna be in that same boat, trying to hopefully, find some type of magic. Just be praying. But we'll see how it goes. All right, guys, it's time for our power rankings. Let's see how everybody's looking. Number 12. All right, so number 12 is the person who's been on the bottom for the whole season, PR Dragons. They're playing spoiler. They're doing well, but still just way too late. Even though he's had a great season, this is where you're going to end up most likely at the end of the year. Sorry, Pops, but PR Dragons, number 12. Number 11, former champ A.D. Peterson, not looking good. Now 4-8. Hasn't had a really good victory in a while. His team is in shambles, really. We haven't even seen him in the group chat lately. He must be fully checked out. We'll see what happens. All right, number 10. After beating me a couple weeks back, I got my revenge. So that drops him down to number 10. Gets me out of that spot. So I'm happy. Too bad for him, though. It's been an awful season. McCaffrey ain't doing nothing for him. Having the first pick in the draft is always tough. And as we saw last year, too, McCaffrey just can't stay healthy. So, tough year for Night King. Number 9, we got the King of New York. Reigning champ, just hasn't found his mojo this year. He's been, giving some good fights, but still nothing serious. No consistent runs. He's got about a 1% chance to make the playoffs, so that ain't that great. But he's got a chance. Alright, number 8, we have Mr. Autopick. Now, it was a toss-up between me and him, but I put myself ahead of him just because I've beaten him that 1 week. So I still have a little bit of bragging rights. Omaro could have said something before where he beat me that one time, but since I got my revenge, I pop up the rankings. Mr. Autopick still looking good. Now he's going to be 5-7 with a 17% chance. Probably going to change soon too. Good for him. Number 7, we got yours truly, the Nightmares, giving people bad dreams, coming after everybody. I'm coming. Big numbers, my boy Jonathan Taylor doing work. I'm gonna shoot up that board. I'm making the playoffs, Dan. I'm making the playoffs. I know it. Number 6, after a tough loss this week, I got pick 6, losing to Auto Pick. Hurts you a little. I could say you should be ahead of Gotti, but Gotti's been putting in work. Gotti got over 140 points. So, too bad for Errol. He moves down the rankings to number 6. Number 5, Gotti boy, making himself known to the playoff chances. He's like, I'm in. I'm coming. I'm finally making them playoffs, and I'm going to make noise. But will he? That's the question. Will he make that noise? I'm not fully sure. Nah, I believe in you, Gotti. I believe in you. You got this time. You got it. Number 4. Sorry, cousin. There's a case that you should probably be ahead of Dutch Masters. But when you lose to Mr. Spoiler himself, PR Dragons, that moves you down. You had a tough week. Nobody showed up. Guess everybody forgot it was showtime. Damn, that was a terrible pun, right? Yeah, that was bad. But anyway, so that's you. You're at 4. Number 3, Dutch Masters. Having a great year. He's going to make the playoffs. He's been solid all year. A good victory gets him to 8-4. Dutch Masters holding it down. Good game. And he's will be now 1 game behind league leader in Team Medaya. 2 games to go. You could probably take that bye seed. Let's see how it comes out. Number 2, Team Medaya is facing Sweet Life. You had your chance. You had your chance to let everybody know you are the team to beat, but you lost. Now I understand you got a lot of injuries and your running backs and everything. Well, you better get that squared up, because if you go into the playoffs and you have your bye and you're ready in the semifinals and you get shellacked, it's gonna be one disappointing season. Now we haven't seen you in the playoffs in ever. But if you're going to make your presence known, you got to get to the finals. And losing that match against Sweet Life, that's a tough one. You should have won that. Number 1, Sweet Life. Everything's going well for him. He took me down last week with a monster showing after my monster performance. And so when you have victories like that, you know everything's going your way and things are looking really good for you. Taking down the number 1 team right now in Team Medaya only solidifies you as number 1 right now. Somebody better beat his ass. Come on, somebody. I want to see him hosting another trophy. Alright guys, it's time to make some money. I'm going to get over Mr. Moneybanks himself to come give you his picks and see where we can cash in. Hello friends. Moneybags here. Now, I know my record ain't as great as it should be, but that's Vegas's fault. My picks are always correct, and you should always go with them because you're gonna make some money, unless otherwise. Now, I'm gonna give you 3 games as a point system like I've been doing all year. Now, it doesn't matter, again, about the points, disregard them. I'm doing it for myself. But here we go. My 1-point pick. We got New England versus Buffalo. And I'm taking the Patriots at +3 because they've been on a roll. And Buffalo's defense, even though they're stout, they're hit or miss. So I'm going New England because they know how to win. My 2-point play. Miami Dolphins at -2.5 versus them Giants. Now the Giants got a nice victory last week, but so did Miami. And Miami's defense is finally awoken. They're finally healed. And they're kicking some major butts. Now I got Miami at home at 2.5. And my final game, my 3-point pick. Because I'm so sure that they will win. Arizona Cardinals versus Chicago Bears at -7. Now I know that's a high number. -7. Money bags. What are you doing? That's tough. You got Bears' good defense. But the Bears' offense is so bad. So bad. That I know that Arizona's going to cover easily. They got enough offensive weapons. Kyle Murray's getting healthy. Defense is looking good. Sure, it's going to be cold and outside. But they'll be alright. That's my 3-point pick. Alright, guys. I hope you enjoyed Moneybags picks. I'm sure there's a couple winners in there. He's been awful this year, but he'll come around, New York is finalizing their online sports betting stuff. So hopefully next year we can really get this stuff going. More legalized sports betting and can have a little bit more fun with it. And, talk about it in the group chats and stuff like that. But let's get to our projections and predictions. And we'll see how next week is going to be looking. Alright, guys, so the first matchup is Gotti Boys versus the Nightmares. This is a massive game. Gotti's won the first match against me, so he holds a little edge right now. But if I can take this W, we'll be tied on head-to-head and tied on record. And now Gotti has that last playoff spot, so if I want that spot, I need to get this victory. Gotti ain't gonna come quiet. He's been kicking butt lately. But so have I. So I'm not discouraged. I'm not keeping my head down. I'm looking up. I'm looking forward. And I'm looking into the playoffs. Gotti, you're going down. Prediction: Nightmares. So the next match, massive match as well. This is going to be a battle for the top spot in the Eastern Division. We got Sweet Life at Showtime. Now Showtime had a disappointing game versus PR Dragons last week, but he's gonna try to rebound versus a very consistent Sweet Life. Now Sweet Life, he ain't knocking doors off of everything like Team Medaya has been doing all year, but whenever it comes to a game, it don't matter if he's got to win by 0.9, bastard, or 45 points. It don't matter. He's gonna get the win. But I think this week Showtime is going to deliver. He's got to deliver. He doesn't want to end up, facing a really good opponent the first week of the playoffs. So he's going to be gunning for that bye week. And I think he gets it by taking this victory. Prediction: Showtime. Third matchup, we got Mr. Spoiler himself, PR Dragons, versus Pick 6. Now, Pick 6 needs this win. They want to hold on to that playoff spot. They're right now going to be 7-5, which is good. But got a lot of teams on his back. They're looking at him. It's that whole meme of Jason Momoa about to tackle the guy who plays Superman. That's us. That's us coming for Pick 6 spots. So you gotta be careful, Arrow. My prediction, though. Mr. Spoiler continues to spoil. I'm going with Dragons. Okay, our fourth matchup here, we have Mr. Auto Pick versus A.D. Peterson. Now, Mr. Auto Pick had a really good victory this last week, and A.D. had a big-time stinker. But that's not the A.D. we really know and love. You know, he does have some, up and down type matches, but he's usually a little bit more consistent. So with that, you look to see if AD will have a nice bounce back victory. But Mr. Auto Pick is fighting for that playoff spot. And I ain't going to discount them just because me and him are battling for that playoff spot. I'm going to be fair on this side. I think Mr. Auto Pick is going to handle this game easily. And while it may seem that, AD still has a puncher's chance, I think it's over for AD. I'm sorry, AD. I think it's over for you. I think you should pack in your bags, go home, and just prepare for next week. So for that, my prediction, Mr. Auto Pick gets the victory. The fifth game, we have Dutch Masters at Kings of New York. There's not much to say about this matchup. I think Dutch Masters is far and away the much better team. Now, two-time and defending champ right now, deserves some respect. Because he's the defending champ. He's had a decent season. Not great. The one that killed him was, again, that loss to PR Dragons. But maybe he could make a game out of it. I'm not sure. I think Dutch Masters is much better. He's fighting for that top spot as well in his division. And so I got to give it to Dutch Masters. Prediction, Dutch Masters. In our final game of this week, we got Night King versus Team Medaya. Former champ himself, Night King, facing one of the top two teams in the league. Night King really wants to show that, even though it's been a bad year, he's still someone you should be, not looking past. Should not be looking to the final game of the year. But Dionne is going to look right past him and ahead to the playoffs because Night King is going to bring nothing. Sorry, I love you. My boy and all. But Medaya is a much, much better team. And they should win this easily. If they don't, I'll give it to you. I'll give you a little clap. But I don't see that happening because my predictions are always right. So, here we go. We got prediction. Team Medaya. Hey guys, so that will do it for this week's League Note. Again, this is the first time working with the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was something fun, something different. Please send me your feedback if you liked it or not. All of it will help me in the future, and I'm going to try to send these out as best as I can. I'm going to try to edit it the best as I can, and we'll see how everything turns out. Well, until then, take care, guys. Big Boss out.